Hey guys, it's Lily
and Jade,
and today we're going to be doing the 15-day character drawing challenge created by Baby Carrot Art. They're a really awesome creator. I love their characters and their artwork a lot, and they made a cool character drawing challenge that me and Jade really wanted to try.
Yeah.
And we wanted to each draw a different character but have them come from the same universe.
So we decided to draw Milo and Fern from the furry video. But for this challenge, we decided to draw them as humans because we prefer to draw humans over furries. Now let's get down to business. So first off, we made mood boards for each of the characters.
So this is Milo's mood board. It's very emo and dark and scary, just like he is. There's a lot of My Chemical Romance because he really likes My Chemical Romance, and I really like My Chemical Romance. And all these images are sourced from Pinterest. These characters are from the year 2005. Are they very historically accurate? No. But just for some backstory, they're from 2005.
So this is Fern's mood board. It's very green and earthy, and there's a lot of movement because in my mind he really likes movement. There's cookies and soup because he likes to bake and cook food. And I included the animal, the maned wolf, as well as an inspiration for his weird mullet hairstyle, which they both have.
So next up, we made character sheets for each of our characters just to really nail down their humanized designs. Since Milo is a Tasmanian devil human hybrid, I chose to make him native New Zealand because that is where Tasmanian devils are from. So that's part of the information on here. We also have his birthday, likes, dislikes, favorite songs, food, drink, stuff like that, just to get an idea of the character at a quick glance. And Milo's voice claim is Frank Iero from My Chemical Romance.
I hear it's heavy. I'm about 4'9", so when they lift the coffin, it's actually above my head, and I'll actually get to lift it. I'm just touching it.
I didn't have many friends. I don't think kids really liked me.
So here's Fern's character sheet. He's Colombian because maned wolves come from Colombia, as well as Mexican and Scottish because his papa is Mexican and Scottish. His favorite foods are pan de bono, which is a cheese bread from Colombia, which I really want to eat, as well as strawberry tarts because he loves strawberries. And fun fact, his middle name Fresa is strawberry in Spanish. And his voice claim is Heizo from Genshin Impact.
So, trees. They're a sleuth's best friend. My intuition tells me that something very interesting is about to happen. Let's just hope the rain hasn't washed all the clues away.
Now to get into the actual drawing challenge. Day 1, the prompt is default design. So I basically just took the same exact drawing that I did for Furry February and expanded the composition so I could show all of Milo's full human design. For his outfit, he's an emo boy. So he's wearing double layered shirts, he's got a little crop top on, and black jeans and matching black Converse. He also has a little star necklace that you might notice someone else has the matching one. And since the composition was a little longer than the original one, I got to add more of his belongings. So obviously he has a guitar, but I added some CDs and a little PS2 controller, as well as a PS2 game. For this drawing and then for the rest of the challenge, I tried a new rendering style with a pencil brush on Procreate. It's HB Pencil, if anyone is curious. I really like it and I've used it before, but I tried to do a little bit more of messy rendering for these.
Mine, I drew Fern flying through the air because he's too freaking long for the page. I also drew some of his things next to him as well, like a spoon, a slice of flan cake because he likes baking, and a little tag that says his name on it. On his bag, I gave him a little Garfield keychain and a Big Bird keychain, as well as a little charm, a bead charm that says Milo. Also, for all these pieces, I did a slightly different rendering style as well. I did more line art, and then did kind of a watercolory, textury colors that doesn't have like that much shading. And if you're wondering what the brushes were that I used for this, I used soft round airbrush for the line art, but for the coloring, I used a crazy brush that I got from some weird website, so you'll probably never be able to find it, but it's pretty awesome.
Day 2, the prompt is old design. This one was a little tricky because I think it would work better if you have a character that you've redesigned so that they have a design that you don't use anymore, but these guys are pretty much brand spanking new, so what we did was drew them as their original furry versions. So for Milo, the original drawing that I did didn't show anything below his waist, so I was trying to think of a pose or scenario that would fit that, and I was thinking of prison. When you hold that thing in prison, it's kind of like that Barbie movie meme that people used to do all those years ago. So Milo's in trouble. He's probably like, I don't know, got in a fight. He hasn't murdered anybody or anything like that, but he can be a bit of a rough and tumble boy now and then.
So for mine, I drew Fern on like a hot, sunny day, eating some ice cream and listening to some music. And I'm picturing that this is what's happening when Milo is going to prison. And in the left corner, I drew his MP3 player, and you can see what song he's listening to on it. It's Criminal by Fiona Apple, which is funny because Milo's in prison. And I also drew the album cover of Fiona Apple, but I made her a furry, like a husky, because she has such sparkling blue eyes.
Day 3, the prompt is formal clothes. And I actually ended up changing my mind of the direction I wanted to go in for this one, because initially I had thought that Milo would be uncomfortable with wearing formal clothes, but then I decided that he had to slay. I wanted to draw him slaying. So for inspiration, I looked at photo shoots of Gerard Way from MCR. Milo's kind of a vessel of me putting in all of my love for My Chemical Romance, but it was a good inspiration for a mix of formal wear with that emo vibe. So I drew Milo sitting to the side somewhere. He's twiddling his little mullet hairs. And he has a cute little rose that matches his eyes in the lapel of his vest. And I envision him maybe at an after party waiting for someone. I wonder who.
So for mine, I was struggling a little bit with the direction I wanted to go in, but I decided that Fern would be a model because he's so long and so skinny, and he'd be perfect for the modeling agencies in the early 2000s. I made the picture kind of look like a magazine spread, and there's word boxes behind him along with some type of words. I didn't put real words, I just put like Ibsen, Dibsen, what? Get Lorem Ibsen. And I picture afterwards he goes to some after party of some sort. That's so weird.
Day 4, the prompt is school uniform. So in this prompt, we decided that Milo and Fern went to high school together. So I made this quick little school uniform design, which was very much inspired by the Oran High School Host Club school uniforms, because in my mind, that's just like the iconic school uniform. So Milo's clothes are all torn up, beat up. He's definitely getting dress coded by the second every day at school because he's a bad boy. And his hair is a lot shorter here because I imagine that for a long time he had a bowl cut, but at some point he shaved it bald. So this is the aftermath of that, because I did not want to draw his bald head showing where human ears would go on his head. Meanwhile, he has animal ears on the top. It gets tricky. Also for this one, I wanted to do a background, and the perspective was killing me. It was killing me. So don't look too closely, but I don't know, I think it has a nice vibe to it.
So for mine, I drew Fern sitting at his desk in the back of the classroom with the window behind him looking all anime. I drew him eating his lunch, which is a croissant because he made it and he likes croissants, as well as that water bottle that I always remember from the early 2000s. Also, a little notebook with stickers on it, like a butterfly and a freaky smiley face. And he's waving to someone who just walked in the classroom. I wonder who it is. Oh, it's Milo. It's always Milo. And for the perspective of the desk, I actually used this weird website that I've used before for like drawing bicycles or something, where you just like search objects and you can place the 3D object in the position that you desire. I think it's very helpful. So if anyone needs some help with certain perspective things, go to this website.
Day 5, the prompt was pajamas, and for this I wanted to draw Milo as a chibi. I think that this moment is pretty rare because I imagine Milo is the type of guy who kind of just like comes home and goes straight to bed wearing his stupid stinky clothes and still has a makeup on. But here he has his pajamas on, he's taken his makeup off, and he's wearing glasses. Because guys, get this, Milo needs glasses, but he hates wearing them. He wears contacts, but he's secretly a nerd. And he's sitting on a beanbag chair, and he's got a little Batsmaroo plushie behind him because he's like Batsmaroo. It's just him. And his bae, Fern, is texting him goodnight in that way that people spoke in the early 2000s. Did people really speak like that?
Yes.
If you were alive. I mean, I was alive, but I was like, goo goo gaga. But if you were like a conscious human in 2005, tell me if you spoke like this. Oh, and I drew his little anime mullet braided into 2 braids because I thought that would be a cute thing to do with his weird hairstyle.
So for mine, I drew Fern chilling on his bed, reading a book, which later you will see is The Last Unicorn. Guys, I love The Last Unicorn. Guys! He has a little headband on that's pushing his bangs back, which Milo had on as well. He has his little stuffed animal buddies next to him, a little lab dog, and tan Hello Kitty. I love tan Hello Kitty. And on his wall, I put a poster of Dolly Parton because he loves Dolly Parton, and I made her a doggy because I was like, she has to be a Camino Momomi. She has to have animal ears as well. And beside her is a little Polaroid of Fern giving Milo a kiss on the cheek. Also, guys, I forgot his tail, and I'm sad about it.
Day 6, we actually changed the prompt for this one. The original prompt was fursona, but we had already drawn these characters as furries because they were born as furries. So we ended up doing Ponysona. So I decided that Milo would be a unicorn because he plays a guitar, and I was like, how on earth is a pony playing a guitar with their hooves? So, with his tongue? No.
Yeah.
So he has a little horn that he can use to play the guitar. I made him pink and black to match his human color scheme, and his name is Midnight Melody. I liked it because it sounded emo, but it also starts with the same 2 letters as Milo, so it still has a bit of a connection. For this drawing in particular, we used the same layout that we did for our pony designs in our last video.
So for mine, I made Fern an earth pony because I thought that suited him best.
I feel like you see a lot of earth ponies making food, like Pinkie Pie, Applejack, Mr. and Mrs. Cake.
Yeah, speaking of Mr. and Mrs. Cake, later on you will see that his cutie mark is a carrot cake, which Mr. Cake from the Cake household, his cutie mark is also a carrot cake, but it's so ugly and does not look like a carrot cake, so I had to make it cute and better. Also, his name is Sunny Fern, and I was kind of struggling with coming up with a name for him, but Lily helped me come up with a name for him. Yay! And he's one of those real skinny, tall ponies, like Fleur de Lis or Baby Fluttershy.
So for day 7, the prompt is as a kid/adult. So basically, I think it would be if your character's a kid, draw them as an adult, and if your character's an adult, draw them as a kid. So Milo is an adult, so I had to draw him as a goo goo gaga baby. And Jade had a brilliant idea decided to make a illustration based off of one of our own baby photos. I picked out this one of me and my dad on Halloween. My dad was dressed as a prisoner, and in this photo I'm wearing his prisoner hat. So I thought it'd be kind of cute picture to do with Milo and his dad. So when drawing Milo's father, I was inspired by Dave Gahan from Depeche Mode. Circa like the 90s, I think he had this long hair goatee look, which I really like. But then as I was drawing him, he was also reminding me of Dave Grohl from Nirvana. So I was like, okay, this guy's name has got to be Dave, because he's looking like two different Daves. So this is Dave, Milo's dad.
So for mine, I drew Fern with his mommy, and I referenced this picture of me and my dad. I don't know why we're in front of these terrible clown pictures. I'm thinking that we might have been in my Nana's house because she collected weird things like this and she liked clowns. I was not going to draw those clowns, so I changed the background. Instead, it is now what I'm picturing as Fern's abuela's house, and it's in my mind 70s looking. I made Fern's hair a darker brown black color because a fun fact that I learned was that when maned wolves are born, they are born black or brown.
Next up, day 8, the prompt is at the beach / swimwear. So as I wrote in his character sheet, Milo does not like the sun, so I drew him cowering beneath a beach umbrella in his little swimming getup t-shirt over like a tank top and some swimming shorts. I gave him a butterfly tattoo on his arm, which represents his mommy who passed away when he was a child. Oh, and also, this was actually the first time I realized that Tasmanian devils have tails. For some reason, I was imagining them as short, stumpy tails that you wouldn't see from a front angle, so I literally never drew it until I looked at a Tasmanian devil, and they have pretty significant tails. So I gave him a little tail behind him that's dripping like he jumped in the water. The style for this one was cartoonier in general, so I did little details of like a seashell and a sand shovel, and he's eating a popsicle.
So I drew Fern in the water, basking in the sun with his cute little swimsuit on. And originally he was holding a beach ball, but then I changed it to him getting splashed by water. Oh, I wonder who's splashing him. Oh, it's Milo. And no, he's not using water bending. For some reason I kept thinking he was like using water bending to bring the water near to him. And I added some hibiscuses in the foreground just to fill the space out more. And at the end you will see I drew a beautiful rainbow behind him, like a picture-esque moment.
Day 9, the prompt is winter clothes. So I wanted to draw Milo outside in the snow wearing a big puffy jacket like George Costanza.
Hey!
I was really struggling on this one. I tried to draw him like lighting a cigarette, couldn't do that. Tried to put his hand in his pocket, couldn't do that. And I felt like I was moving his face back and forth, like trying to get it right, and I was just really having a hard time. Liquify tool saved my life. So he did still end up having a cigarette because Milo's a smoker. Fern doesn't like it. But does anyone else like really like drawing cigarettes? Like, I don't condone smoking, but like it's so fun to draw anyway. And even though I was having a lot of trouble drawing this picture, I ended up really liking the rendering I did on his coat. So that's a plus. And he's standing in front of a desolate brick wall.
So for mine, I drew Fern sitting down, drinking some hot cocoa. Beside him, I added a close-up of his hot cocoa mug, which has a little kitty on it, as well as some marshmallows below that. Fern's wearing that early 2000s hat that I know you people have seen. Fern's fashion in general, I feel like, is kind of a mixture between Mori K and Goblin Core. I don't know, but something in between there with like a lot of layers and a very comfy, cozy feel. As well as a lot of earthy brown and green and yellow tones.
Day 10, the prompt is opposite fashion style. And for this one, me and Jay decided to do like an alternate universe where this is the fashion style that these characters enjoy. Not like they're wearing something opposite and they don't like it. This is Nerd Milo. So I thought a good opposite to his regular fashion style would be very academia inspired. I drew Milo wearing like a sweater and tie and khakis, and true Milo would rather be set on fire than wear khakis himself. So that's unfortunate. I gave him a little nerd haircut, and in this universe, he wears glasses. He doesn't hide the fact that he needs glasses. He wears them with great pride. And he's leaning on some weird podium thing and talking about a book, because regular Milo doesn't know how to read. That's not true. He just doesn't like to read. But this guy's talking about the freaking Great Gatsby. I don't know.
So for Fern's opposite style, I chose to make it Gyaru, specifically Mamba Gyaru, which is like beachcore. And I made him even tanner than he usually is, because that's a major part of Gyaru fashion. I gave him little jean shorts as well as a tube top, which is leopard print because I saw a lot of leopard print in Gyaru. I also gave him bleached hair because a lot of Gyaru includes blonde bleached hair, as well as I also added a hibiscus flower in his hair along with some clips. And in his hand he is holding a flip phone with a little freaky cat thing hanging off of it. I also did, of course, Gyaru makeup with the lighter lips and the distinct nose shine.
Day 11. The prompt is with the person they're closest to. You have 2 seconds to guess who it is. Did you guess Fern? You're correct. He was also the first one I drew, so cheating! I decided to draw Milo and Fern singing together into the same microphone because I think that's cute. And get this, Fern's really good at singing because he's good at everything and he's so awesome. He's so cool.
That's so true.
Originally, I imagined it being like as some sort of band practice that maybe Fern visited Milo at, but at the end I got too carried away with the lighting effects and it started to remind me of like a club or a bar, so I was like, they can be at a karaoke bar together. I thought that was kind of cute. And they're singing the song Lucky Star by Madonna, if you're curious.
So for mine, I drew Milo and Fern sitting at the kitchen table, and Fern is feeding Milo some sort of cake that he made for him. Beneath the cake is a placemat that's very fall Halloween themed, because I imagine it's around fall when this is taking place. And it's one of those classic early 2000s/90s placemats that I always liked when I was little.
Day 12, the prompt was with the character they are least close to. And for our drawings, we interpreted that as being their enemy. So Milo's enemy is a fellow musician who is a cat boy named Asher. But get this, Asher's dad owns the club that Milo and his band perform at. So he's a total nepo baby. And Milo thinks he's a major poser, and they have mad beef with each other. I think Asher probably gets his dad to like push Milo's band back like to the dead hours of the morning, stuff like that. And for Asher's design, I basically ripped off this one guy from Soul Eater who showed up in like one episode, but I thought he was really cute, so I kind of just took his whole vibe and made him into a cat boy.
Guys, it's time to get serious, because Fern's enemy is his dad. His dad's evil and toxic and mean and bad, and he's in prison right now. And his dad's actually not a maned wolf, he is a fox, so he's kind of a shrimp compared to the rest of the family. Also, he's Scottish, so picture him speaking with a Scottish accent.
Something that I thought was interesting is we both drew the characters at profile, just facing opposite directions, not knowing what the other was drawing. So our mind palaces were kind of colliding. What?
Also, I drew like a rift between them later on that's like a torn piece of paper showing their rift with each other. Oh my gosh.
For day 13, the prompt was their hobby. So Milo is playing guitar. He's like practicing on his dad's old acoustic guitar. He's sitting on his bed in his room. For the background, I tried to make it kind of messy, like his sheets are all unfolded and he's got stickers stuck to the back side of his bed. And I gave him some band posters. He has a Depeche Mode poster, a My Chemical Romance poster, of course, and a 9 Inch Nails poster. In addition to his posters, I also added that freaky monkey from the early 2000s. Who was that monkey?
Ew.
If that monkey's watching this video,
Kill him.
comment down below. So I gave him just like a casual outfit with a tank top and some shorts. With the shorts that he's wearing, you can actually see his thigh, and I decided to give him a tattoo of a fern to represent Fern.
So Fern's hobby is baking, and in this picture he's making chocolate chip cookies, because I love chocolate chip cookies. And he's in his kitchen, and he's licking his finger to taste the batter. He has his hair pulled back with a little bandana with sunshines on him, and he has his apron on that his mommy made for him.
So his apron is like a quilt. I like how Fern has like the recurring visual of a quilt. I think it suits him, and I think it's cute. Day 14, close to the end. We were at death's door by this point. The prompt was Halloween costume, so I made Milo a devil because I thought it'd suit him, and maybe he's matching with somebody. Oh my gosh, shut up.
I wonder who. That's so fun.
Enough of this joke. Anyway, so I gave him kind of a scandalous outfit with some thigh highs and booty shorts and like a tank top with a little strappy strap around it. It's reminiscent of Martin from Depeche Mode. He has some awesome outfits back in the 80s, and he's doing a little like with his hands. Ew. And he's making a happy smile, which is kind of uncharacteristic for Milo, but this actually ended up being my favorite Milo face that I drew for the whole challenge. So crazy.
So Fern is dressed as an angel. He has little bloomers on, as well as thigh highs that are lacy and a corset. He also has little angel wings and a fluffy halo. And later I add some sparkly blue eyeshadow to carry the blue into his face. As you can tell, he's matching with Milo, and they have the same background. That's a moon and some little twinkly stars.
I really like this one. Jade.
Thanks.
Day 15, the last one. Hip hip.
Hooray!
Okay. So the last prompt was family portrait. So I brought back Milo's daddy, and since he's older here, I did end up giving him some gray hairs. But then I introduced Milo's little sister. Her name is Alice, and she's about 12 years old, and she's emo, just like her big brother, because it runs in the family, but she's more like, doesn't show her emotions, very deadpan. I think that she loves anime, and her favorite anime is Cardcaptor Sakura, and her shirt design is stolen from a Munchichi that I saw, because I love Munchichis. And for this drawing, I don't really know what this like moment is supposed to be. It reminds me of like the photos that they take of families at churches sometimes, so maybe that's what it is, because I do think Daddy believes in Jesus. And then I added these speech bubbles that made me kind of think of the Sims or something, so I thought that was cute.
So for mine, I had to flip it to the side because Friends family includes way more people. So next to Fern, we have the appearance of Fern's mommy again. And mommy is a major hippie, and her name is Coco. Beside Fern's mommy is Fern's abuela, Rosalina, and I think she's the kind of character who always has her eyes closed. And beside Rosalina is Fern's little sisters, who are twins, Ivy and Clover. And I think that they're besties with Alice. I wanted this to be like a fall photo shoot of some sort, so I made them kind of all in fall cooler attire, and as well as having fall foliage and pine trees in the background. Also, a side note is that Fern and Milo live in Washington, like Twilight. Woof. We're done.
That was all the prompts. Did we finish it in 15 days?
No.
No, we didn't. It was a very busy month, so probably not the best time to try a challenge like this, but it was still pretty fun. Thank you again to Baby Carrot Art for creating this prompt list and sharing it with everybody. If you're interested in doing this challenge, make sure to tag them so they see it. Tag us, maybe. I'd like to see it. Maybe.
I like to see it.
Yeah, that's it.
Good night.